No damage or injuries have been reported. The city is checking out the awning of a building in Brooklyn today after another one collapsed nearby. Higher prices could be coming for American consumers and companies thanks to a sweeping set of President Trump's tariffs going into effect this week. Relatives of the Israeli hostages have had it. They're demanding the government agree to a ceasefire deal with Hamas, and they want Israel to remove any pre-existing conditions. Police in Ukraine arrest a number of officials for what they call a large-scale bribery and corruption scheme. Sports today, the Mets are hosting the Giants. The Yankees are playing the Marlins, again down in Miami. The Liberty are in Connecticut. AccuWeather says for today, just perfect. Sunny, nice, low humidity, a high of 83. Winds News Time 121. Time for traffic and transit with Jody Beth.
Oh, perfect. Not a way to describe the roadways because everybody wants to get out on a day like today. But in Brooklyn, expect those jams inbound BQE between the Gowanus Merge after the Brooklyn Bridge. Outbound's going to be slow between Flushing Avenue to Atlantic Avenue. And then we have the East River crossings. We're getting busy, but they're moving so far. Horizontal slow, Brooklyn bound. We've got more delays heading to the eastbound belt too. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, Hudson River crossings. It's 25 to 30 minutes now, both decks inbound George Washington Bridge. And 25 to 30 now outbound from the Bronx River on the westbound Cross Bronx heading to the bridge. Deegan ramps are going to be slammed both ways to the Cross Bronx. And we've got some delays on the east side of Manhattan, northbound Harlem River Drive from the East 150s up to the GWB. West side's a lot better. 15 to 20 in at the Lincoln, minor delays out. And 10 to 15, both directions at the Holland Tunnel. Also expect delays at the Goethals and Outer Bridge. Everyone's coming home from the weekend. And traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. I'm Jody Dale. Next report's at 1:31. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
The earth moved in New York City and beyond. A small quake centered in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, struck last night.
Did you feel it? Joseph D'Angeli with the Wildlife Conservation Center did.
It really wasn't that strong, but it was strong enough to say, wow, what was that?
It was a 3.0 magnitude earthquake that folks felt in parts of the 5 boroughs and New Jersey.
It felt and sounded like somebody dropped something really big on the house.
This woman in Westchester County says,
there are trucks rumbling by from time to time, but we just knew from the very deep feeling of it that it was more than just a truck rumbling past.
No major damage or injuries at this time, but the city's Office of Emergency Management keeping a close eye on the impact and possible aftershock. Amanda Alexander, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
The city buildings department is checking out the awning of a building on Clark Street in Brooklyn following the collapse of another awning nearby. Inspectors say they were called to 100 Henry Street around 7 this morning and found a 15-foot by 20-foot concrete and steel beam on the sidewalk. It had been part of an awning on a 12-story mixed-use building. The Department of Buildings says it was poorly maintained, as is the one on Clark Street. The wildlife photographers who kept an eye out for Flacco now have a coyote couple in their sights. Male and female have been sighted living together in Central Park since 2023. Photographers David Lee and Jacqueline Emery have dubbed the pair Romeo and Juliet. And they've snapped images of them at night in the Delacorte Theater area and strolling along East Drive together. The Parks Department says coyotes can live in the park, saying people can safely coexist with these animals. It's recommended, of course, that you keep your distance and don't feed them, and keep your pets on leashes. Harlem Week is underway, and this is the 51st year of the celebration that honors the neighborhood's history and culture. Marco Nobles is the second vice chair of the event and spoke with Winds.
The importance of Harlem as not only one of the most famous communities in the world, but also that base of culture for people of color, certainly in the United States and around the world.
And this year's theme is Magic. 1010 Winds is a media partner of Harlem Week. Bloomberg Money Watch is on the way now. And now Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Winds.
As wireless phone service grew cheaper and more reliable, many of us hung up on the landline for good. As of last fall, 3/4 of households had cut the cord and used cell phones only. History might repeat itself in the internet business as phone companies roll out 5G wireless for the home, in addition to their wired broadband services.
AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, they've gotten really aggressive.
Bloomberg analyst Geeta Ranganathan.
It's just very easy to hook up. It costs about $50 a month, and it's much cheaper than cable.
Comcast and Charter Communications are the dominant home broadband providers.
So that's where we're seeing a lot of the competitive pressure, and they are losing subscribers at an accelerating pace.
Cable companies are fighting back, though, by encroaching on the mobile phone business.
Within the Charter footprint, you can get a mobile line at a significant discount.
But cable firms are not yet replacing the home internet customers. They're losing. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Tracy Jonke for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
AccuWeather says for today, the weather is just spectacular. A perfect Sunday out there. Sunny, nice, very low humidity and a high. Today we're expecting of 83. And then for tonight, clear, comfortable low 66 degrees in the city. Mid to upper 50s in the more distant northern and western suburbs. And then tomorrow, another nice one. Plenty of sun, very warm. But smoke from the wildfires in Canada could create a reduced air quality and a hazy sky out there. And it's going to be hotter, too. We're expecting a high of 88 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm Suzanne Carlucci. Wins News Time, 1:30.
Michelle Kabbalah, higher prices may be just around the corner as a set of President Trump's tariffs goes into effect this week.
This new round raises taxes on imported products from nearly 70 countries. Many economists are warning the impact of the earlier tariffs is now just being felt, and that consumers are going to see higher prices.
Apparel prices are going to go up by some 35% as a result of these tariffs, and computer prices are going to go up by some 20%.
But Trump's tariffs are now facing a serious legal challenge. A federal appeals court raising questions about whether the president has the authority to impose across-the-board tariffs without congressional approval.
Correspondent Jonathan Carl. Wins News Time, 1:31. Traffic and transit with Jody Bill.
Well, our Mets, they are fire right now, but getting through the jams to see them in Queens at City, it's a rough drive. Delays on the westbound Grand Central in Queens, LaGuardia, Northern Boulevard, heading to Flushing Meadows and City Field. Not much better on the LIE. Both sides of the LIE is jammed up. Approaching the Kew Gardens interchange, eastbound delays from Woodhaven Boulevard. And then we've got the westbound jams from the Cross Island. And heading Queensbound from the Whitestone and Frogs Neck, they both have jam-ups too. The southbound Cross Island is a big old crawl off the Frogs Neck to the LIE Grand Central. Whitestone Expressway look a lot better. The southbound Clearview, you're going to find some jam-ups between the LIE and the Grand Central as well. And oh, by the way, we're just loaded up on the Van Wyck. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels at the Hudson River crossings. It's 25 to 30 both decks inbound George, and 25 to 30 now outbound from the Bronx River, westbound Cross Bronx, Deegan Ram Slam, and some delays on the east side of Manhattan, northbound Harlem River Drive from the east 150s up to the GWB. West side is clear. Inbound at the Lincoln, we're looking at 15 to 20, minor delays out, and 10 to 15 both ways at the Holland. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones, breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Jody Vale, 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer.
Overall, we're looking at a pretty nice day today. Lots of sunshine overhead, and the humidity is low for this time of year, getting up to 83 for a high this afternoon. Clear skies tonight, and a comfortable night for sleeping, down to 66 in the city, mid to upper 50s in some of those far northern and western suburbs. Tomorrow, still a lot of sunshine around. However, we may start to experience some of that haze and reduced air quality from the smoke from the wildfires as it works into the area. The high 88. A very warm day, but still not all that humid on Tuesday. Partly sunny, high 89. Warm and a bit more humid on Wednesday. Times of clouds and sun, the high 84 degrees. It's 82 with sunshine, humidity 30%, the wind out of the northeast at 9 miles an hour. Again, 82 going up to 83. I'm AccuWeather's Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The Office of Special Counsel is taking a look at the prosecutor who went after President Trump.
Former Special Counsel Jack Smith, who was tasked with investigating President Trump, is now under investigation himself by the Office of the Special Counsel, a federal watchdog agency separate from the Department of Justice. President Trump had the It's unclear what prompted the probe, but the investigation followed a complaint by Republican Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, who wrote on X that Smith's investigations were politically motivated.
Christian Benavides with that report. Some hopeful words coming from a U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, indicating there's a ceasefire deal in the Israel-Hamas war.
He says that Hamas have agreed to demilitarize. Now, that would be huge if that's the case. Their public statements certainly suggest they haven't. He also said we're very, very close to a solution to the end of this war. But the devil's in the detail. How are you going to do that when even these partial deals that have been negotiated in the past seem impossible right now? Also saying he's going to bring all hostages home at once. Well, again, over the last couple of months, it's been impossible even to bring them home in tranches.
Ian Pinnell reporting. Russia is blaming a Ukrainian drone attack for a massive fire burning at an oil depot near Russia's Black Sea. The regional governor says debris from the drone hit the fuel tank. The airport near Sochi had to temporarily suspend flights as more than 120 firefighters battle those flames. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling out corruption in his own government when it comes to military spending.
President Zelensky has described as absolutely immoral acts of bribery uncovered by Ukraine's anti-corruption agencies. They say they've found large-scale bribery in the buying at inflated prices of drones and electronic warfare systems. 4 suspects have been arrested. Mr. Zelensky has sacked the mayors of 2 towns named in the corruption report.
Sue Montgomery reporting. A new study suggests there are some things older Americans can do to slow cognitive decline.
From the Alzheimer's Association International Conference comes a rigorous study showing healthier habits slow typical age-related cognitive decline. Habits including brain stimulation as well as
sitting less and moving more, physical exercise so that you can get your heart rate up a little bit.
Dr. Laura Baker with the Wake Forest University School of Medicine says these other lifestyle changes were also found to contribute to brain health.
We were asking folks to eat more dark leafy greens and berries and whole grains and fish and less saturated fat, less sugar.
Following healthier habits produced scores and brain tests for study participants as if they were a year or 2 younger.
I stood up when she said sit less. Stephen Kaufman with that report. Wins News Time 138. 1010 Wins Entertainment. Pretty good opening for Bad Guys 2.
Not everyone believes it, but the Bad Guys went good. And we cannot wait for society to welcome us with open arms.
The new family pick opened in second place with $22 million. The Naked Gun Revival, starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson, debuted in third place this weekend with more than $16 million in sales. Number 1, The Fantastic Four First Steps, hanging in there in the top spot with a $40 million second weekend. Josh Brolin says he has mixed feelings about making a sequel to The Goonies.
This place is a summer restaurant. Looks like it hasn't been open since 10 summer. How long are you going to at that window? Long enough to see me eat about 400 roach motels in this place.
Brolin was a teen when he started the 1985 classic. He says the experience of The Goonies was so great, he doesn't want to taint his memory of that with a subpar sequel. Brolin did say a Goonies 2 could work if it has the full blessing of the film's original producer and co-writer, Steven Spielberg. Entertainment Weekly confirmed that Spielberg is among the producers working with Warner Brothers on the sequel. The city never sleeps, and neither do we. All News 92.3 FM. Always here when you need us.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Sunny, 82 degrees at 1:40. Good afternoon. I'm Ashok Kabbalah. Here's what's happening. Hasbrook Heights, that's where the earthquake that shook the tri-state area last night was centered. No major damage reported. On Long Island, swastikas and slurs discovered on playground equipment in a park. Nassau County cops are investigating. There's a new farmer's market in Flatbush. It's being operated by young people. A woman in New Zealand is in police custody after a 2-year-old girl was found in her luggage. Night 2 of the first ever 2-night SummerSlam is at MetLife Stadium tonight. The Yanks are in Miami trying to avoid a sweep. The Mets hosting the Giants. Both games getting underway now. AccuWeather says it's really nice. Don't have to tell you. Mostly sunny, low humidity, 83 tonight. Clear, cool, 66 in the city, mid to upper 50s. The northern and western suburbs will start the work week tomorrow with hazy sun, very warm, the high 88. Winds WINS News Time 141. Traffic and transit with Jody Vale.
Great day. Not a great ride, though. In New Jersey, it's bumper to bumper. We've got a truck fire. Jersey Turnpike. Local lane southbound right near exit 69 for 80. Right lane is blocked. Express lanes are moving. And more delays on the Garden State Parkway now. Southbound near the Union Toll Plaza to 136 at Stiles Street. Clark Township, that's about a 5-mile delay due to all that volume. In Rockland County, some good and some bad news. Southbound New York State Thruway. We are seeing those slowdowns. It's a broken down vehicle that was just cleared. It's between the Garden State Parkway connector and the Palisades, so you have more stop and go there. And then more delays to Route 303 in Nyack. Not a bad ride, though, both ways at the Mario Cuomo Tappan Zee into Rockland and Westchester. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, the other Hudson River crossings. Inbound George, it's about a 30-minute wait, both decks. And on the outbound side, it's about 30 minutes, too, from the Bronx River. On the westbound Cross Bronx, Deegan ramps are slammed. And we have delays on the east side of Manhattan. That's northbound Harlem River Drive from the east 150s up to the bridge. West side's clear. And inbound at the Lincoln, we're looking at 15 to 20 and 10 to 15 both ways at the Holland. Arizona Bridge, still slow Brooklyn bound. Expect delays off the bridge to the eastbound belt. Jody Vale, next reports at 1:51. 1010 WINS and 92.3 FM.
It was a 3.0 magnitude earthquake last night. You may or may not have even noticed it.
The general message here, don't be alarmed. Folks felt it near Hasbrook Heights in New Jersey and parts of the 5 boroughs. Wildlife Conservation Center's Joseph D'Angeli says,
It felt and sounded like somebody dropped something really big on the house.
Now in the city, reports of those tremors in Upper Manhattan, the Bronx, and even Staten Island. Mayor Adams in a video advising,
if you have any structural damage, please reach out to city officials.
There's no major damage to clean up, but the Office of City Management says prepare for possible aftershocks as they monitor impact. Amanda Alexander, 1010 WINS on 92.3 FM.
No reports of any injuries or damage across the tri-state area. Funniest post I saw on X was the Empire State Building, which wrote 3 words, because buildings can write, I am fine. That was the entire post. WINS News Time 144. One alleged scammer has been caught. Another still being hunted by the FBI. 38-year-old Sue Jian Liu of Oklahoma is accused of working with Jingbin Zhang of Staten Island, who's 37, to rip off more than 70 people of $5 million. The con usually started with a pop-up computer message urging the victims to call a number, where the scammer was pretending to be a tech company, bank, or government agency. The victims, who were mostly elderly, were falsely told their computers had a virus and they were convinced to withdraw cash or gold for pickup by a courier for supposed safe holding by a government agency. The Nassau County Police Department is investigating after words and symbols of hate were found in Wantagh Park. 2 swastikas and racial slurs were discovered etched into playground equipment. Friday afternoon around 3, the suspect faces a felony criminal mischief charge because of the value of the equipment. A new addition to Flatbush, Brooklyn, a youth-led farmers market being held every Saturday through the end of November at Flatbush Junction. Kamara Jackson is the CEO of Elite Learning, which runs the market.
The farmers market derives about, maybe I want to say about 3 years ago. I noticed there were no fresh produce in our areas, in our communities. The markets were ran by organizations that were not from our communities, and they did not hire kids that lived within our communities.
The market is staffed by young people ages 14 and older who work alongside senior volunteers to learn skills in customer service and entrepreneurship. Crews will work tomorrow morning to pull a dead whale from Barnegat Bay on the Jersey shore. Its accidental death was caught on cell phone video.
A whale has died after being struck by a boat Saturday afternoon along the Barnegat Bay in Ocean County, New Jersey. It was first spotted near the inlet. Then later in the day, a report from a boater saying a fellow boater struck it. It was all caught on video.
Stay here, stay here. Oh my God, they're going over. Oh, man overboard.
The person who fell overboard was able to get back in the boat. Officials say it was a minke whale about 20 feet long.
Matt Piper with that report. There is a lot to look at this month in the skies above tonight. A bright red star known as Antares will be right next to the moon in the southwestern part of the sky. The Milky Way will also be directly overhead, so On a clear, dark night, it will be possible to see dust clouds and individual stars. Then, on August 12th, the Perseid meteor shower peaks with more than 100 shooting stars per hour traveling across the sky. May be hard to see it, though, because it comes right after the full moon. WINS News Time 147. Harsh words for Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer as the Senate leaves Washington without advancing presidential nominees.
President Donald Trump posted on social media that Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer can go to hell after the Senate left Washington Saturday night without a deal to advance dozens of Trump's nominees. At a news conference, Schumer said Trump's picks are not qualified.
In a fit of rage, Trump threw in the towel, sent Republicans home, and was unable to do the basic work of negotiating.
Republicans say they may try to change Senate rules when they return in September to speed up the pace of confirmations. Schumer says Republicans need to negotiate.
We should be working together on legislation to get things done for the American people.
Donna Water, Washington.
One approval went through. TV Judge Jeanine Pirro, now the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. Texas Republicans this weekend advancing a plan to redraw their congressional maps. They're trying to shift 5 seats to the GOP before the midterms. National Democratic Redistricting Committee Chair Eric Holder has been opposed to gerrymandering, but on ABC's This Week, he says,
we have to understand that the nature of the threat that has been put upon the country through what they're trying to do in Texas has really increased the danger to our democracy. And as a result of that, we've got to do things that perhaps in the past I would not have supported.
Holder called the Texas move to redraw the congressional maps an authoritarian move by the White House. A 2-year-old girl is lucky to be alive after she was found inside a piece of luggage in an underbus compartment in New Zealand. The woman who owns the suitcase arrested.
The arrest took place at a rest stop for long-distance bus travelers in the town of Kaiwaka. A female passenger had asked the bus driver if she could access her luggage, which had been stored in the bottom of the bus during the first part of their journey. The driver then noticed the woman's suitcase was moving. When he opened it, he discovered the 2-year-old girl curled up inside, alive but extremely overheated.
A report from Celia Hatton. The relationship between the woman and child is not known at this time. WINS News Time, 1:51. Traffic and transit with Jody Vale.
Let's go to New Jersey, where it's still bumper to bumper from this truck fire on the Turnpike local lane southbound, right near exit 69 for I-80. The right lane was blocked. Express lanes are moving, but we still have those jams going back to exit 70 at DeGraw Avenue, and then more jams heading to the tolls at the GWB. So here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The other Hudson River crossings, the inbound George is about 30 to 35 minutes now, both decks. 20 to 25 outbound from the westbound across Bronx. Deegan Rams, they're getting slammed both ways to the cross Bronx. And we have delays on the east side of Manhattan, northbound Harlem River Drive. This is from the east 150s up to the GWB. West side's pretty clear. Inbound at the Lincoln, looking at 15 to 20. Minor delays outbound, but it's 10 to 15 both directions at the Holland Tunnel. Take your pick. And Verrazano Bridge, still slow Brooklyn bound. Expect delays off the bridge to the eastbound belt. I'm Jody Vale. Our next report that's coming up at 2:01. 1010 WINS and 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer.
Lots of sunshine overhead right now. A pretty nice day, but we're going to be dealing with some air quality issues tomorrow as some of that smoke from Canadian wildfires starts working into the area. This afternoon, low humidity, as I mentioned, high 83 degrees. It'll be clear and comfortable tonight, down to 66 in the city, mid to upper 50s in some of the northern and western distant suburbs. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, a little bit in the way of hazy skies, and again, reduced air quality with a high of 88 degrees. Humidity still not a factor Tuesday. It's going to be very warm, though, partly sunny with a high of 89, then times of clouds and sunshine on Wednesday. Warm and a bit more humid with a high of 84 degrees. Right now, 82 with sunshine, humidity 30%, the wind variable at 7 miles an hour. 82 going up to 83 in Midtown. I'm Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station, 1010 WINS on 92.3 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a decade of bitterness, to finally returning home, following disappointment after disappointment, an emotional CM Punk, filled with tears, has finally silenced his critics.
You gotta love the introductions. There's another night of SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium tonight. Last night, wrestling fans from New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, yeah, they were all in the house. SummerSlam debuted in 1988. It's only grown in popularity. A cultural meetup for WWE fans, that's what they call it. SummerSlam starts at 6, but the tailgating is happening now. Keep it locked on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM for the latest traffic reports to help you navigate the area around MetLife Stadium. A big birthday for the Superdome in New Orleans. It's 50 today.
Only 4 other NFL stadiums are older, and none of them are indoors. Superdome Vice President Doug Thornton says the Dome's designers created a building twice the size of its contemporaries, and it's that 2 million square feet of space that kept the Superdome around even when some venues that came after it have already been demolished.
That large volume of space has allowed us to basically reinvent it over the years.
Its latest reinvention, a $500 million renovation completed in 2024 that allowed it earlier this year to host its 8th Super Bowl.
Chris Miller reporting. Like many TikTok challenges, there's yet another one raising eyebrows.
It's called the Door Kick Challenge. In the middle of the night, teens record themselves kicking people's front doors. Justin Mulcahy is with the Anne Arundel County Police Department in Maryland, which just arrested a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old for damaging doors.
Sometimes they get caught up in these things, videotaping, but it can be dangerous.
Candace Knight's doorbell cam caught a teen damaging her door frame.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. These children are going to lose their lives over something so stupid.
Michael Wallace with that report. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch.
Movie and TV filming in the Los Angeles area declined 6.2% in the second quarter. That's according to permitting office Film LA. It's an improvement from a 22% slump earlier in the year, but still highlights the challenges California faces in competing for the business with other states and countries.
The big movies, they shoot in Atlanta, they shoot in Vancouver, they shoot in London, they shoot somewhere else.
Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw has seen the change. He says California has been trying to get things back on track, but it's a tough battle.
They have increased the tax incentives for production there, but you talk to the Ted Sarandos, David Zaslavs of the world, and they'll tell you it's still not enough for them to relocate.
When you break down the numbers, feature film production was down 21%, production of TV commercials fell 15%, and television production, the biggest part of the industry thanks to scripted dramas and reality shows, rose 17%. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Liz Mateo for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Stephanie Patella, Caroline Ely, our service aides, Eileen LaPalmer, our writer, Tanya Mercado at the editor's desk, and I'm Asho Kabbalah.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good afternoon. It's 79 degrees at 2 o'clock. I'm Suzanne Colucci, and here's what's happening. Did you feel it? Lots of people in New York City did. A small earthquake in Bergen County rattled the region last night, but there are no reports of damage. A man is dead and others injured after shots rang out near a playground in Brownsville, Brooklyn. The Smithsonian says it will restore references to President Trump's impeachment in an exhibit after backlash for taking it down. The bodies of 4 of 5 miners trapped in a collapsed section of Chile's biggest copper mines for days have been found and identified. It's in Tennessee, and it's now ranked as the #1 theme park by travelers, according to TripAdvisor. Sports, the Mets are hosting the Giants. The Yankees are back in Miami facing the Marlins, and the Liberty take on Connecticut. Winds News time 2:01. It's time for traffic and transit with Jody Val.
Well, we're just seeing the jam ups now at the Verrazano Bridge. It is super slow, Brooklyn bound. It's bumper to bumper from that crash blocking a lane. I'm not sure if it's the upper deck or the lower deck. So if you see what's going on, give us a call, 1010.